So the subject of freedom of speech, it's definitely not a new controversy, that's for sure. But in recent days, it's really been a part of the cultural conversation, and it's surrounding Elon Musk and his takeover of Twitter. He's trying to explore what that is and how that's going to function at that level. Now, I try not to comment on how difficult that would be because I've never run a company that large before. But I do want to talk about freedom of speech and how we should be approaching it because there are many debates that surround it. And even at different levels, I deal with it at a municipal level. I'm very engaged with my own city's politics, and there are groups of people that rather you not be heard. And that is a problem for me because I think there's so much value in freedom of speech. In recent days, actually, we've seen Kanye West. He was on InfoWars with Alex Jones, which Alex Jones is another figure who's under the microscope when it comes to censorship and cancellation, as well as Kanye West. So the two of them got together, and it was a bizarre interview. And if you only saw the clips, it was probably even more bizarre. But one thing I do encourage you to do is go over to sites like Rumble or whatever site will give you the full video. Watch the full video because there are parts that are just like what's he saying? But I do see the mainstream media, they just took this as a opportunity to just smear the both of them. I mean, the two clips I saw was Kanye, or Ye is his new name. He was talking about Hitler doing good in his life, besides being a maniac, that he actually did some good. So there is so much more context to that, which I don't even need to get into. I don't want to defend Ye here, but the other clip was him waving a child's fishing net and pretending it was talking. So he was like making a funny voice, like, and so that clip was all over the mainstream media. Jimmy Kimmel was making fun of it. I thought it was funny because I watched the context of it, and what he was doing was he was playing with a net, and there was a drink called Yoo-Hoo. It's a brand. We don't have that in Canada, but they must have that in the States. So he had a net and Yoo-Hoo. It was a joke making fun of President Netanyahu from Israel. So I thought that was pretty funny and clever. But obviously the mainstream media took that as an opportunity. It's an easy opportunity. See, that's the part. If I was Kanye, I wouldn't have done, because you just know these people use any opportunity to make you look foolish. I bring that up because I think Kanye and Alex and anyone, they're good examples of people that we should desire to have out in the open. Everything to know about them, whatever's in their heart, whatever's in their mind, we need to allow them to get it out there. Why? Because I want to know if I want to vote for them. I want to know if I want to buy their products or do business with them. I want to know if I want to align politically or morally with them. I want all the information on a person before making a decision. So if we only have half the information, like I mentioned with the out of context clips with mainstream media, I can't make an informed decision. So that's the value. And I know there's debates surrounding hate speech and what speech should be censored. And like I said at the beginning, I haven't done the international level, because you got to remember, like, the Taliban has a Twitter account, but like I don't know how that's handled at that level, if there's ever threats made. So I won't comment on the international level, but I can speak for the municipal level, the level that I deal with, which is I want everyone to come to the table and talk. Because right now, what we're doing is not talking. We're segregating each other. We're even refusing to hang out with certain family members at Christmas time, which is just super sad. I've heard stories like that for the past several months, and it's just devastating. So we need to create this space. And what I've tried to do locally, and it's not perfect, what I've tried to do is create this. It's a Facebook page. It's called Politics for Sarnians. So I created this space with the intention of dragging people out of their echo chambers, meeting in the middle to talk. And whether that means being at each other's throats for a few days until you can kind of find common ground, I think that's worth it, because all I've seen is the giggling that goes on in the different echo chambers, and growth doesn't happen. If you want to grow as a society or as a human being, you need to be challenged on the things you believe. I need to be challenged on the things I believe, because I hope you guys watching will go into the comments and tell me how I'm wrong. I rely on stuff like that. I think that's good. So I created this group, and like I said, it's not perfect. People are complaining that I have rules like don't spam, like don't send us your MLM opportunities, because everybody's here for politics. They're not wanting to sign up for your pyramid scheme. So that's one of my that's one of my rules, and like no pornography or anything that'll get my group banned, because we do have to abide by Facebook's terms of service. So it's freedom of speech within the confines of Facebook. So there's those rules, and then I have a rule where if you're going to join us, I want you to come here with the intent to freely engage. So that means don't block me as an admin. I can't control who they block as members in there, but I want to set the example to say, no, this is a space to talk freely. I don't want you to come in here and block everybody you disagree with, because what happens is you don't see their comments, they don't see your comments, and it just becomes that two-tiered echo chamber again. So those are my rules, and there's people that are upset about that. They're like, you're not a free speech absolutist. And I said, well, okay, fine, but my mission here is to get people to talk. So yeah, the value of being able to speak freely is that we just have all the information to make good decisions. Now, I understand between Canada and the USA, we have different laws on freedom of speech. In Canada, it's illegal and it's a crime to misgender someone. Now, me personally, I don't find that as an obstacle. Number one being, I don't have many friends who identify as anything other than what they were born as. And even if I did, and when you talk to people, you typically don't address them by their pronouns. You usually call them by their name, which I don't have a problem. Like if they want to be called something else, it's just their name. I'm happy to do that. But I do understand the situations like Jordan Peterson, who became famous off that situation where he's a professor and having to address indirectly his students. And what's the average population of a university class with like over 100 people? So even though I'm not affected by it, I certainly want to advocate that Canada comes to a place much more like the States where our freedom of speech is protected. So I just think this is something we need to keep in the conversation, keep it alive, so that, even the younger generations can start to engage and protect this very valuable structure and backbone to our Western society.